Hello, my beautiful people. I welcome you back to my channel once again. It's another day, and another game has just passed. We played against Newcastle, and we lost the game by 2-0. But then, I think we need to talk. Do we, or does the coach ever think that the game we played against Newcastle on Sunday was an easy game? No, I don't think that game was an easy game. Newcastle has always been difficult. In my preview of that game, I told you that in the past 7 games, when it comes to 90 minutes, we have won 2, we have drawn 2, and they have won 2. We only won one of the games because it went to penalties, and it was in this same EFL Cup. And so we should know that Newcastle will be out there for a revenge because we defeated them last season. And on Sunday again, we defeated them. It has never been easy when you are playing a Premier League opponent 2 consecutive times. It has never been easy. The game on Sunday was won by the sheer brilliance of Cole Palmer, assisted by the able defensive midfielders of Caicedo and Romeo Lavia, and then the fast-paced players of Nicholas Jackson and Pedro Neto. That was how we won the game on Sunday. So no one should in the wildest dream think that that game was easy. No, it wasn't at all. And so in the game we played yesterday, I can only draw 2 inferences from it. The first one is that maybe Enzo Maresca got his tactics wrong. And I will come there. I'm going to read Enzo Maresca. Then the second inference is that Enzo Maresca came up with that tactics for a purpose. Maybe Enzo Maresca wanted to expose our players, some of our high-profile players in Christopher Nkunku, Felix, Enzo Fernandez. He wanted to expose them to the harsh reality that they are not first 11 players. That is the other inference I can draw from the game yesterday. So maybe it was intentional, and looking at what or hearing what Enzo Maresca was saying post-match conference, I don't think that he regretted losing this game. And to add salt to injuries, Renato Viega was also saying that they played well. Very funny. Yes, he said they did well. All right. So let us see if they actually did well. Let's look at the statistics from the game. Now, when you take the statistics from the game, ball possession, we had 65% ball possession. Newcastle had 35%. Total shots, we had 17. And then they had 8. The other day, I mentioned that Bernardo Quiver must do better. And in the game yesterday, we had about 9 corner kicks again. Newcastle had only 1 corner kick, and again we were unable to score from that 9 corner kicks. So our set pieces comes to play again. Now, shot on target, we had 4 shots on target. Newcastle had 2. Although we scored an own goal, they had 2 shots on target, and they had 2 goals. We had 4 shots on target. We have 0 goal. All right. Now, shot inside the box, we had 10 shots inside the box, and they had 4 inside the box. Big chances created, they created 2, we created 2. And big chances scored, they scored 1 of their big chances, and we scored 0. Then passes, total passes in the game, we have 671 passes, whereas they had 352 passes. Accurate passes, we had 611, they had 289. So you can see that there were all indications that we should have won this game. But then that is the reason I want to push back this blame onto the players that were out there yesterday. Maybe some of them have just been put on the market because somebody like Disasi, I think it would be criminal for Chelsea to keep Disasi after the January transfer window, and then still keep our own Chaluba, who is doing well at Crystal Palace there. I see no reason why Disasi should be in our team and we should loan out Chaluba. No, I don't think so. Now, recoveries from the game, Newcastle had 48 recoveries and we had 43 recoveries. Then interceptions, we had 6 interceptions, they had 8. So you could see that this is where the game was actually won. When we had the ball, we were just playing it, we were just playing passes. It was yielding nothing. When they are able to recover possession, they were so efficient. And so I think that was exactly where the game was lost. So those are some of the key statistics from the game we played yesterday. Now, I want us to look at some key takeaways from the game and also rate some of our players. All right. Now, please once again, those of you who have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell and the like button. Please, as I have been saying, the like button will go a very long way in pushing this channel forward. So please hit the like button for me. Please and please. All right. Some of the key takeaways from the game yesterday. One of them, the first one is about Maresca. Now, Maresca is trying too many things. The experimenting is enough for this Chelsea team. I think we have gotten our winning formula, and so we should stick to that winning formula. The experimenting is too much. Please, Mr. Enzo, you are experimenting too many things. I think yesterday's game was either lost by this experimenting or it was intentional. That is how I want to see it. Now, number 2, I think that Jackson, Palmer, Neto, and Caicedo were dearly missed in this game. Let me add Romeo Lavia, were dearly missed in this game. And this should tell us that these players are very key to our project. They are very key to our project. So we have to manage them very well to avoid any injuries from them. Now, the third key takeaway was that Kieran Disby Hall and Enzo Fernandez pairing was a poor one. It was a mistake. It was a mistake of a pairing. I mentioned in my preview of this game that Newcastle has huge players in midfield, and so we needed to match them. And so in my preview, when you look at my predicted lineup, I mentioned that Disby Hall doesn't have to play this game if Enzo Fernandez was going to be in the starting 11. And so I predicted that Casadei will be the one to pair with Enzo Fernandez so that he can protect Enzo Fernandez. Now, yesterday, the coach went out there, put Enzo Fernandez, Renato Vieira out of position, and Disby Hall in midfield. And we were totally overrun in midfield. That was one of the places that we lost the game yesterday, apart from the defense. I can say that the whole team was bad yesterday, but we lost the game from midfield because that was where the turning overs were being done. Turning overs were being done there, so we lost the game from there. That pairing of Disby Hall and Enzo Fernandez was a mistake yesterday. Now, my number 4 key takeaway is that every single player that went out there on the pitch yesterday in the starting 11, except Cucurella and maybe Mikhailo Modric, they have demonstrated that They don't deserve a place in our starting 11. They don't. They don't at all. They have no reason for a claim in the starting 11. Nkuku, I was disappointed in him. So is it true that what people are saying that Nkuku is performing against lesser oppositions, is it true? Because Newcastle is not a lesser opposition, and Nkuku was lost in the game yesterday. João Felix, is he a lazy player? Well, I'll come there in his rating. Then my last key takeaway, number 5, is that Chelsea lost the game from the setup. The setup that Enzo Maresca came with, Chelsea lost the game from there. As I mentioned, the experimenting is too much, and we have to stick to the winning formula. Now, when you look at yesterday's game, Chelsea set up in a 4-3-3 formation, and Maresca wanted to loot the midfield to become a 3-4-3 formation in play. And I think that didn't help the game. Drisby Hall playing as a right wing, and then Enzo Fernandez, and out of position Renato Veiga didn't do well, and so because of that setup, we lost the game. And I think that the way Nicholas Jackson comes into midfield to pick up balls and turn them over, Nkuku was unable to run the channels, and so that setup didn't help us yesterday. So those are some of my key takeaways from the game, actually. Now I want to rate our players, the players that went out there on the pitch yesterday. Now, when it's a win, I rate the players from the man of the match, and when it's a defeat, I rate them from the poorest player. And so my number 1 on the list is Disasi. In fact, he scored an own goal in the game, and I don't know how he wanted to play that ball. I don't know at all where exactly he wanted to send that ball. Disasi showed that he doesn't deserve a place in this Chelsea team. It would be criminal for Chelsea to use this guy again, and I rate Disasi a 3/10. A 3/10. Very poor yesterday. Now, my number 2 is Philip Jorgensen. Some of us have been calling on Enzo Maresca to use Philip Jorgensen in the Premier League team because Robert Sanchez has been committing some petty mistakes, and we believed Philip Jorgensen would have been better. I think that our best goalkeeper currently is Georgi Petrovic, and he's out there on loan. He's not at the club. I think Philip Jorgensen that doesn't deserve a place in our starting 11. He was so poor yesterday, and I don't think these goalkeepers that we have now can help us go anywhere. And so Philip Jorgensen, I am rating him 4/10. 4/10. Then the number 3 poorest was Renato Veiga, although I want to pardon Renato Veiga a little bit because I think he was played out of position yesterday, and so I want to pardon him a little, but he was poor. He couldn't do the work of Romeo Lavia in the game, and so that is why I think we were overrun in midfield. Now, but Renato Veiga played between a very bad Enzo Fernandez and Drisby Hall, and that didn't help him at all. And he gifted a goal. I think he was the one who gifted the first goal. So Veiga is rated a 4/10. 4/10. Number 4 is João Felix. I earlier asked if João Felix is a lazy player. You know, when he was at Atletico Madrid, people were saying that he's a lazy player. That is why he's unable to fit into this Atletico Madrid team. And then he was advised to change his attitude. now that he has signed for Chelsea. But I think that looking at João Felix yesterday, in fact, against Panathinaikos, João Felix was very lazy in that game, but because he scored, I think 2 goals in that game, that overshadows his laziness in that game. So I think that João Felix must change his attitude actually, and if he doesn't change this attitude that didn't allow him to cope at Article, I think that wouldn't help him going forward. So João Felix, I'm rating him 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. Then number 5. Number 5 is Enzo Maresca. Now, I want to rate Enzo Maresca depending on the perspective from which he was coming. As I said earlier, maybe Enzo Maresca wanted to expose some of our players to the harsh reality of them being out of the first team. And I think that if that is where he was coming from, then I am going to rate him a 10 out of 10. And I think that he was able to achieve his purpose very well and to prove some of his critics wrong. Some of the critics who have been calling on him, who have been calling him out to use Christopher Nkunku in the first 11, to use Enzo Fernandez, I think that he has proved them wrong. And then everyone, it was out there for everyone to see that these people don't deserve a place in the first 11. If that was the perspective from which he was coming, then he gets a 10 out of 10. But then, if that wasn't the reason, if that wasn't the intention, then Enzo Maresca is getting a 4 out of 10 because I think that he got his tactics wrong. There is no way you can pair Dewsbury Hall and Enzo Fernandez in midfield and expect them to do a clean job against Newcastle. No, that cannot happen. So Enzo Maresca gets a 4 out of 10 rating from that one. So that is my review of the game. I think that going forward, the first 11, they have also watched this game, and then I think that if there's anything for them to work on, they'll work on it before we meet Manchester United on Sunday. Yesterday, Manchester United won their game by 5 goals to 2. I think Manchester United played in a 4-2-4 yesterday, and in the game somewhere along the line they played a 4-4-2. So I think that with this Ruud van Nistelrooy, they were very efficient yesterday. And so we need to watch ourselves as we are going into that game. You know, normally when a coach is sacked and a new person comes in, players want to prove a point, and they show a reaction. And so I think that we must be careful going into the Sunday's game. Now, I'll come with the preview of that game tomorrow, Friday, and we'll see what will happen. My predicted 11 and predicted score, everything will come there tomorrow. So that is it for today. Till I see you tomorrow. Bye for now.